Mike Pachelli coming to you from my studio in Nashville, Tennessee. And for this segment, I'm going to talk about essential licks of Jimi Hendrix. Now, to get a Jimi Hendrix sound, I guess having a 60s Stratocaster helps. But, you could achieve it on any Stratocaster, really. It's the signature Jimi Hendrix sound, of course. And I'm also just going through a Marshall JTM 45. Everything's turned on 5, so clean sound. That's pretty much, Jimmy went through a lot of different facets of Strat and Marshall, but for the most part, here's my clean sound. And you have to admit that's close to what we've heard by Jimi Hendrix. Also pick. Jimmy used a medium pick. Thin pick, but medium gauge, so that helps too to get the right envelope attack. We'll talk a little bit about chords that he played. Some of the most memorable would be the way he played major chords with the third in the bass. So if he was going from D to E, it was always slurring into the third. So the chord he wanted was and slurring into the third tone. It's a cool sound. If you play those chords differently, like a normal triad D to E with the third and the bass, you get. That's kind of the sound Jimmy was getting. Now, all those hammer-ons and pull-offs come from when Jimmy played, background with a lot of rhythm and blues and soul artists. So go back to D again. If you're playing D, you kind of want to think like B pentatonic over that D to get all those little, other cool double stops and slurs like. So again, that's just like thinking about B minor and playing. The other one he would switch to the 4 chord over that D, like thinking about G, and play. Right? Or some famous songs. Always use that, get a Jimi Hendrix sound. Those octaves. So like on a G, just bring it up to the third, again the bass again and play. Do that. Chord, like A minor, he'd do a chord thing where he'd get the minor second happening, something I really like. So the minor second would be a C and a B, and then just walk that down right, to a C with the E in the bass. So A minor. Stuff, right? Chord-wise, too, he liked the ninth sound. You take an F chord, put the ninth on top, move it up to G, and he moved that around quite a bit. also cool to do if you get rid of the third and just let the third string ring out. So the third of G chord, which would be B, let it be open and play all those chords with an open G. Adds another dimension to it. And here's with the third down. And with the G ringing out. Now what's known as the Jimi Hendrix chord is a raised 9 chord, and typically folks will show it and voice it like this. But Jimmy usually played that down here pretty much like he was playing a E7 chord, and then just with his pinky or third finger got the 3rd fret G, you know. More so down there for that raised 9 sound. He also used his thumb, you know. The thumb was reaching around a lot to get chords. When he would like take a G and suspend it, the thumb would be. So basically the third in the bass, and then you know, the relative minor of the chord, like if you're in C, thinking about A pentatonic, and playing little you know, slurs and hammer-ons. Jimmy had a couple of sympathetic notes, I believe, that were kind of spiritual to him, that he kind of gravitated towards when he was soloing. And I think if you use this ideology, your style will immediately be recognized as in the style of Jimi Hendrix. And those notes were taking the dominant 7th of a chord and bending it up to the tonic, and then using the minor 3rd against the major chord. So what I'm going to do now is I'll turn on a fuzz face. I've got a fuzz face down there with a germanium transistor. Maybe I'll add a little delay too, because you know, Eddie Kramer always did that in the mix. Got just a little, so now we have this sound. And those notes again, like, well, that's if we're in F sharp, you would take the dominant 7 of F sharp and bend it up to the tonic. And when you release, come down on the minor 3rd. And these notes are very sympathetic to you know, Jimmy's harmonic sense. Listen. Right? Immediately recognizable as Jimmy. We'll take it into E. So that's pretty much, you know, I think what really tugged at his heartstrings, because he played a lot of, you know, normal kind of, you know, Chuck Berry kind of riffs, like, but he would end up on that minor 3rd a lot. Would be he would take that minor 3rd an octave higher and bend that up to the to a 4th. Very Hendrix. If you're an E. Now the other thing I think melodically he did was he kind of would superimpose a pentatonic scale a 5th above. And so this, in this case, if we were in E, it would be like thinking in B pentatonic, and playing some licks in B pentatonic against E. And that sounds like this. You hear the pentatonic thing against E. And usually when he lands on that B, it's the fifth of E, so it's very strong, still in the key of E, right? So those two will really help you to play like Hendrix. The other thing, when he played the kind of what I call traditional Chuck Berry lick, excuse me, he would start. Here's the lick. You've heard it. Right? He'd always seem to bend up to take the seventh scale degree, bend it up, and then also play the root again. Here's what I mean. It's always going to be that. Very seldom is he going down, is it? It's usually bend up, get the octave, and then go down. So again, I think that's just thinking about pentatonic stuff, but superimposing B pentatonic over E also to get an authentic Hendrix lick sound. And a couple little tricks that you might want to use is the way he used tritones, which would be like. Such a great sound, right? Just taking the E and the flatted fifth and using the flatted fifth an octave higher. That's the other thing, kind of bending that minor third up a little sharp, above the fourth. Attitude is a big thing when trying to emulate Jimi Hendrix's style. I think you have to really put every ounce of who you are into every note, and it kind of gets a no holds barred, reaching for the stars kind of attitude that Hendrix used a lot. Well, I hope that opened up a few doors for you, some food for thought, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you'd like to send me a note, do so at MikePachelli.com. It's always cool to hear from you, and I'll answer every email. So until next time, I'm Mike Pachelli, and thanks for hanging out with me.